All right, welcome back. Welcome back to, uh, this is going to be a Druidic reading, Thothian inspired. You'll see the pyramid in the middle here. I've done a couple of these. The last one I did not get posted. I had been fighting the wind a lot. I did it outdoors, recorded outdoors, and that made some challenges. It was a great reading, I think, but have not been able to go back and see if I can salvage the audio. So unfortunate, but learning experience, and I actually have moved since then, so this is my new space to record in. So is it the perfect camera angle? Is the microphone absolutely where it needs to be? Is everything working perfectly? I don't know, but that is not really the point. We're going to push forward with this, and yeah, so these readings I do, typically I've been doing them on the new moon and the full moon or thereabouts to cover the energies that are coming up within that part of the lunar cycle. So the new moon just passed, and so yes, this is a reading based on the new moon past, for most folks, I think around March 10th. Some might have seen it the 9th or the 11th, depending on your geographical location, but here the prime time for the new moon was March 10th, I believe. All right, so let's begin. I will be drawing Futhark runes and then some runic, very Norse inspired cards from a tarot deck that will fill in more of the picture. And really, this reading is geared towards those who feel a strong calling, pull towards Gaia Mother Earth. She is speaking, and this is just a practice that I have slowly developed. Particular, it's nothing terribly new about it, but something that I've been practicing for almost a year now, and specifically dedicated to Gaia, to Mother Earth, and it is also a very draconic practice. I've finally been able to get a little dragon figurine in here with the incense going, and my understanding, my knowing of what we are bringing in right now. We are in the process of pulling souls together into a brand spanking new oversoul, which I understand as a dragon. And so, yeah, that is what this is geared to. If this reading resonates with you, I would suggest that it's probably because you're involved in that process in some way. And we are building souls on this planet. That is what we do. So this is a reading also about human becoming, as I am a human being, at least in this life. And this reading will then begin. And as I have been shown, we start with the east. This way is east. The cups energy, the waters. And we are to live not north to south, but east to west. That is where the sun comes up in the east. It goes down in the west. The swords energy, the air, the mind. And then we move to the below, represented by the earth energy, the south. Not that it is underneath or less than, please understand. And then back to the north, the wands energy, the fire energy, the spirit of above. As above, so below. Also, as below, so above, and that is what makes this planet special. What we do here makes changes above, and this has not been well understood, and it is important. We have a chance to do some pretty big, amazing things, and so this reading will be focused on giving us some instruction, some thinking, some emotion or intuition, cups energy, about how we're to bring this fire down and anchor it here in the earth, on the earth plane, this 3D, 4D experience that we are residing within. So I will pull, we'll see how many runes I pull of the Futhark. There's 1, 2 for the cups energy. I just take them when they jump into my hand, into my fingers. There's 1 for the swords. I had 1, but it left me. There's 1 for the earth energy, the south energy. And yeah, there's different runes trying to speak here. 1 for the north. You know what? I'm being told, go back in. Something for the pyramid itself at the center. The pyramid is a concentration of energies. Oh, that jumped right out of my hand. Did not see what it was. Alright. So we'll read. I'll drop the runes over the pyramid. We'll see where they fall and what energies come out. Last reading, since I don't know if I'll ever post it, but key to the previous reading that I did was the Berkano rune, the birch goddess, indicating a lot of support there, a lot of support in rooting in something new, a lot of support in really just from Gaia saying, hey, let's do this. What are you waiting for, human beings? I want you here. I'm not trying to get rid of you. Why are you trying to get rid of yourselves? So I will kind of just start to look around and see what we've got here. We've got the Berkano rune. Yes. Once again made an appearance. Right up against the cups energy, the east, the waters. We have the Isa rune, but it came in Merkstave or Merkstava, however you want to say it. Really, Merkstava is a better way to say it. I don't always say it that way. And it came in upside down, also right there. So interesting energy there. We have 2 more runes in that direction, but 1 more towards the north, and one more towards the south. I'm going to take the north first because I'm hoping for some more input into this Issa rune. So, you know, the Berkano is the birch goddess. Again, beginnings, fruitfulness, rootedness, a sense of that which may come back because there are still roots there. And of course, the properties of birch trees are known. Birch trees are able to bring fruitfulness to the soil where they grow. They are a very different kind of tree. So let's see what we have here. Also upside down, the Tiwaz. The Tiwaz. Associated with the god Tyr. And yeah, I haven't pulled the Tiwaz rune in a while. The sky god, though, again, it's over in the cup's energy, but it is on the line, you know, towards the wand's energy. So the above energy, it's upside down. And yeah, it's really indicating. Okay, something's starting to come in now. With the Issa rune upside down, we've been in a time of waiting. The Issa rune is, for me, that's the Ice Age rune. It's the rune of I'm in a cave. I have to wait out the winter. I'm surviving. It's a tough time, but also it's a gathering of strength time. But, you know, with it coming in upside down, that makes me think that that time is coming to a close. We're coming to a time of activity, of blocks being removed. But honestly, it's not in a positive way. It's a lot of ego. And with the Tiwaz rune, that sky rune, it's really, I hate to say it this way, but what's coming through is more insanity, more war, more refugees, more of that energy of leadership that hasn't figured out that where it has led is not good. And yet it's going to keep going. And yet we have hope here. We do have hope with the Berkano rune. It's right snug up against. And so what that tells me is these runes aren't about you and me. Okay? It's the general condition of the world right now. The Berkano rune is saying, that's the goddess saying, I'm here. I'm going to be here. Okay, and it's right snug up against the cup's energy, saying that, yeah, no matter what you're going through, I'm here. So let's take a look at what fell also on that side towards the cups, but towards the south and the earth energy. The Thorisaz. Also coming in, Merkstava. And that makes me, again, that tells me some actual things are going to be happening. There's been a lot of chatter in the news, right? Of this or that coming about, this or that awful thing. Not that folks are not experiencing awful things throughout the world, but this speaks to me of an intensification. So this is, I feel like this is just a warning to say, hey, some things might be coming that are not going to be terribly easy, and I'm getting more than that. For a lot of us, we've just been watching it on television. This room is telling me that no, this isn't just about you watching it on television. This is touching you directly. Yeah, not the happiest of rune draws that I've done. But that is exactly what this is for, because this reading is intended for folks who see themselves as on the side of Mother Earth, on the side of all life on Earth, the biosphere. And we have to confront things head on. It doesn't do anyone any good to sugarcoat things, to not look at realities. And realities just in the last day or two are some pretty disturbing things. A lot of rhetoric, and I dearly hope that we're not going to see more than rhetoric in some of the worst ways possible. But also, Spirit has been very clear that such things are in the cards. And, a little more than a year ago, something very big and bad was in the cards. It did not come about. That is what I know. And I don't even need to talk details, because this is not to be about fear. But awareness is important. All right, let's check out what's going on in the west here, the swords energy. Also, Merkstava, the algaes. And this is telling me 1818 on the timestamp. That may not end up being the timestamp when the video's cut, but 1818, 99, 18, 9. And algaes in the reverse. And immediately when I see the algaes rune, I'm thinking about leadership. I'm thinking about very masculine energy, being out in front, being ready to guard, being ready to protect, being ready to do all the things that are necessary. And again, this is not about biological sex or gender. This is the divine masculine energy, not the energy of receiving, but that energy of going out, doing things, having ideas in this case. This is swords energy where this is showing up. Having ideas, growing something, directly across from the Berkano rune, but also the Isa upside down. And yeah, this is warning us, saying, are we going to wake up here? Are we going to turn this rune over? Are we going to stop turning away from the problems that we have, start actually dealing with them? Are we going to get caught up in the this is where the reading's coming for a full circle here. Are we going to get caught up in this fake, not the actual sky god energy? This came in upside down. This is the tyrannical energy. This is the energy of demanding, the energy of forcing, the energy of tricking. The algaes could resist those things, but it's upside down. And that's what we've got here. And it's in the sword's energy. So again, east to west, we have a choice here. Are we going to come out of our caves and not head towards the stupid energy? The stupid energy. This is the energy of dumb politics, of politics that's not paying attention to the actual state of affairs, that is not actually caring about people, about non-human life, about the planet. It is mixing itself up in wars and worrying more about that. Only in the last instant, when it feels like it has to in order to keep power, is it worried about the masses. That's definitely going on right now in the United States. Are we going to be in that energy? Or as we come out of this ice age, this time of pause and reflection since sometime last fall, I would argue, are we going to go with the birch goddess? Are we going to go with the earth? She's here. She wants us. She wants us to listen. And over here in this sword's energy, she wants us to turn this algaes over. She wants us to turn it over. I'm going to leave it turned over now. Because it's really just like that. It's a change of mind. There's going to be, I've been getting this for a while now, there's going to be a time when the masses have a say. And I know we feel like we do not. I know we feel like we're under the thumb. Most of us do. There's going to be an opportunity. It's coming. Are we going to take it? Are we going to be ready? And a big part of this is not being swayed by the political theater. If you're in the United States right now, this year, I've been saying this since, I've been saying it, Spirit has been giving this message since last year, last spring, at least, even probably late winter of last year. That 2024 would be about picking leaders. And here in the United States, we're being forced to choose between two dunderheads. At least that's what the powers that be think they're forcing. And I think that's not the only way. I think there are alternatives coming, and it's going to be interesting to see what we do, what leaders we choose, not just President of the United States, but all across the board. It's going to be important for the whole world. the whole world is watching right now what that's going to mean. And I'm just saying, if you think Biden's all that, you're not paying attention to what's going on with everyday people who are hurting, and very little is getting done for them, while hundreds of billions go elsewhere to drop bombs on poor people's heads in other countries, or to be to fuel wars, where a whole generation in 2 countries is getting wiped out right now, especially in Ukraine, but in Russia too. That's a real thing. That's what's being supported there. And if you think the pushed forward alternative of a return of Trump is going to fix it all and make it better, you're insane. You're crazy. Spirit wants no part of that, man, having anything to do with the reins of power. If you're in touch with Spirit at all, you know that. You know that. So I will leave that there. Do not get caught up in the push-pull of political parties. That's the point. Okay? The Algies is about, what are you going to do? Stop selling your power to political parties, to political leaders, expecting them to fix all the problems. What are we going to actually do and bring in for ourselves that's going to surprise the hell out of these, frankly, dumbass leaders? Because we could. We can. There will be a chance. There are chances probably every day. That's what this is about. We have one more rune, and then I'll pull some cards. This reading is getting long in the tooth already. The Urus, also upside down. Merkstava. There's a blockage. There's a blockage to spirit. That's what this is speaking of. Again, it's about domination. It's about power, the lust for power, the lust for control. That's blocking. That's what's blocking what we need. Notice nothing's here in the earth. Just a little bit, the Thorisaz that came in upside down. Speaking of not just wounds, Thorisaz is the thorn. It's wounding, but here upside down, it's a betrayal. It's a backstab. It's it is not positive. See, a wound could be a learning experience. It could be something that teaches us and makes things better in some way. That's not what is being talked about here. And now with the Urus, this whole picture is coming clear. And this is against a background of trouble, of things getting tougher in the world, and of that trouble touching all of us in real ways, because it's in that South Earth grounding energy, right? This isn't hypothetical or intuitive. This is the possibility for real tragedy to come through. Let's turn to the cards. I'll not be pulling punches on these readings. That's what these readings are for. That's what they're about. It's for folks who are mature enough to not take this with fear. You should not be afraid. I'm not predicting, necessarily a worldwide calamity. What I'm saying is some tough times are coming that are going to touch people in real ways. That we're going to see it. That's grounded into place. It's not super grounded into place. If there's a place for hope in this reading so far, it's that this rune is so far over here. And so much can be changed just by our own outlook. If we all desire and look for and begin to ground into place a world that is not filled with tragedy, if that's what we're looking for, and if we keep looking for it and we keep grounding it in place, that is what will come. We don't have such a world because we haven't been grounding it into place. We haven't been even imagining it. We've been stuck in fear. We live east to west, above, below. The intuition, the emotion, the intellect, the reason, the energy comes down through. And what we make is what we live in. So there's plenty of opportunity here. And in my view of this reading, it begins with that Alkis rune, that elk rune, the elk god, that frankly masculine saying no, drawing boundaries, hedging in what we love, protecting it. All right, these cards want to begin talking. Oh, they're doing some things like that. Okay. And here is the first card draw for the Cups energy. The King of Cups. The King of Cups. With what looks to me, well, it could be a Gabo Wunjo, so a gift and joy. I think that's probably the best way to look at it. There's a combination rune, so if you don't know about runes, that is one of their most interesting possibilities. And you can see that rune there. It is a double rune, how I'm reading it. So this is good news. This is good news. It's joy. It's a gift. So that makes me feel better about the reading overall here. We need to be looking for a gift. Again, the Berkano came in upright. It's the only rune that came in upright in this reading. Usually it's about 50-50, and that's the only rune that came in upright. Look to Mother Earth. Look to to the trees. All right, for the swords energy, we have the Seven of Cups. The Seven of Cups. So in the swords energy, the air energy, the mind, intellect, reasoning energy, but the seven. And there is a little Thoracize up there. If you can see it, it may not come through. And maybe there are other things I could point out, but let's stay with just the tarot here. The Seven of Cups, for me, is about choice. We've got all these cups, and they're all around us, and which thing are we going to pick? And notice, the central character doesn't need to pick. She's already got her love, this newborn. And from the looks of everyone else seems to agree. All these other cups are nothing. So this is about priority. It's about deciding what we care about, sticking with that. And it's in the swords energy, which is then very, very fitting. All right, for the earth energy, Two of Wands. Two of Wands. And there are two runes prominent on the bottom here. So when I see the Two of Wands, I'm thinking choices, and I'm also seeing guideposts. Choices and guideposts. And I mean, this gets into pretty deep discussion of, even the quantum world. Just little tiny changes have big effects, right? And we have a Wraitho here, which is similar to the Chariot card in the tarot. It's a rune of movement. The Two of Wands is about going through the gate. There are two posts, and we go through, we go between. We pick the middle path between. And this other rune is the Ansus. And it's kind of backwards, which it's going to show up on the camera as forwards, I guess. The Ansus is about, among other things, well, it's Odin, it's foresight. And we have the Wraitho, so it's knowing the path, knowing where to go, picking the path between the two guideposts. It's also about ancestry. It's about birthright. It's about wealth that you are owed just because of who you are. And here, this is speaking to me of the birthright of humanity, of the planet. And it's in the south, in the earth energy. We've got to decide what we're going to ground in, what we're going to bring into being. And with the gist of this reading so far, this to me means socially as much as anything. Socially. Who are we going to be? What are we going to care about? What are our values going to be? Is it going to be profit? Is it going to be, warfare and squabbling. Most of us don't want any of that. So the question is how are we going to choose? How are we going to make this choice? And it's the Two of Wands this is the first step type of room. This is okay. It's going to be more guideposts. This is just one. What's the guidepost for you right now? What are the things that you're considering that you need to act on and do? For the Wands, the North energy, powerful rune, a powerful card. The Seven of Wands, with a picture of a magician bringing down the wrath of the sky. Let me look at, I keep knocking this card. I'm going to turn it. And we have a combination rune here, which could be, there's a lot of ways we could interpret that rune. But I believe the simplest way to interpret it is the Othala and the Isa. I don't know if you can see that right above the magician's head. The Othala and the Isa are together there. Things are breaking loose. That's what this is about. Things are breaking loose. Othala is about progress, movement forward. Things are breaking loose. Things are about to break loose. I don't feel like there's much more needed to say here, except that when I put this down, it's going to be it's going to be right up against this upside down Urus. Blockages are coming unblocked. Be ready. That's what this is saying to me. One final card. We'll look at the bottom of the deck for some extra instruction, edification, something. And what am I seeing? The Five of Discs. The Five of Discs. With the Nauthiz rune, just a simple single rune, and it is a rune of need, lack, want. Tough times coming is what I am hearing. That is the meaning of this rune over here, this upside down Thorisas. It doesn't need to be. We're in a world full of plenty. We can take care of everyone if we want to. We're deciding not to. And things may get worse before they get better, unfortunately. That may be the only way for change to come about. Not because it should have to be that way, but because that is the mode that humanity has been in. We kick the can down the road, and our leadership is awful. It's awful. And we don't really get a choice between good leadership and bad leadership. Leadership has been chosen for us by power, by money. We need to understand that. And again, I've been seeing, hearing, it's been coming out. There's going to be opportunity, especially this year, to choose different. And yeah, be ready for it and prepare. Prepare for perhaps some tough times, and be careful. Be careful with your purchases. Just I know a lot of folks are unable to save money. I've been in that mode much of my life, my adult life. And, but maybe this isn't so much about saving money as it is about be prepared to help those around you and to receive help from those around you. We have enough. We can get through anything, but we have to be together. And I think that's where I will leave this reading. Thank you for listening. I am Jared Randall. This is the News from Not So Far North channel on YouTube. Hoping to gear up and have a much more consistent release schedule and such after moving. So appreciate anyone who watches, appreciate any comments. These readings are a little long, so appreciate anyone who views through the end. And just let me close with, again, this reading was a tough reading. I think it's that way on purpose. It's a reading of warning. It does not mean dire disaster. It does not mean expect the worst. Exact opposite. What this means is that we all have a choice in the sort of the next version of this world that we're bringing about, and it takes time for that world to come about. So if we get stuck in what's going on in the moment, and we make our decisions based on that, on our current politics, our current wars, our current this, our current that, instead of making the right choices consistently over time, the best choices for people, for non-human beings, for the planet as a whole. If we start making those choices over time, a different world's going to seem like it magically appears. It's just going to all of a sudden get better. It really will. But it won't have been that way. It will have been from a long sequence of choice after choice after choice after choice being made with those concerns in mind, rather than a false sense of security, militarized security, militarized policing, and such. All right? Okay, I will leave it for real now. Blessings, much light, peace.